Hello everyone and thank you for joining us. We have an incredible lineup of fascinating facts for you that will surely make your day. So let's get started. Here are 30 random facts to make your day. Moths use the light of the moon and stars for navigation. The moths that gather around your porch light are confused by it and keep changing their flight angle in an attempt to maintain a straight flight path, but end up continually turning towards the light. Male horses typically have 4 more teeth than females, as the canine teeth rarely appear in females. The enormous geodesic polyhedron spaceship Earth at the center of Walt Disney World's Epcot Park is clad in 11,324 isosceles triangles. If a perfect polyhedron, it would have 11,520 isosceles triangles, but some are missing to make room for the massive legs and doors. Air Force One is not the name of a specific plane, but the official air traffic control sign assigned to any United States Air Force plane currently carrying the President of the United States. Just as we orbit the Sun orbits around the core of the Milky Way. Relative to the center of the galaxy, we're moving at an average speed of 230 kilometers per second. Even at that breakneck speed, though, it still takes 225 to 250 million terrestrial years to complete one trip around. The Hope Diamond glows blood red when exposed to ultraviolet light. Typically, blue diamonds glow white when bathed in ultraviolet light. This is one of the many factors that have contributed to the superstitious belief that it is cursed. The 2012 Summer Olympics were the first Olympics where every participating country sent at least one female athlete. In 2005, Facebook hired graffiti artist David Cho to paint murals in their new office space. Cho accepted Facebook shares instead of a $60,000 cash payment, and when Facebook went public in 2012, his payment for the murals ballooned into a $200 million payoff. Clarence Leonidas, Leo Fender, inventor of iconic guitars like the Fender Stratocaster, didn't actually know how to play the guitar. Penguins are known to push other penguins into the water to ensure the area is free of predators. Not so cute after all, are they? Canada didn't adopt a national flag until 1965, nearly a century after it became a country in 1867. 8 different male snowy owls play the role of Hedwig the Owl in the Harry Potter movie series. While the owl is, in both the books and the movies, female, males were used because they have more white feathers and are smaller, and thus were easier for the young actors to handle. Although kilts were worn by many characters in the box office hit Braveheart, the movie was set in the 13th century, 5 centuries before kilts would come into common use. Despite the lore surrounding it, the rate of ship and plane disappearances within the Bermuda Triangle isn't any higher than the general rate across other large areas of the ocean, especially when accounting for tropical storms. Rowan Atkinson, best known as the quirky British comedy personality Mr. Bean, has a master's degree in electrical engineering. The period prior to the 1930s adoption of the Motion Picture Production Code, which governed profanity, nudity, violence, and the treatment of other subjects in cinema, was known as pre-Code Hollywood. Throughout the 1920s and early 1930s, movies featured content that wouldn't be seen again in America's cinemas for decades. There are, presently, 5 officially recognized dwarf planets in our solar system: Pluto, Ceres, Haumea, Makemake, and Aries. The squirrel workers manning the nut sorting room in the 2005 film Charlie and the Chocolate Factory weren't computer generated. Director Tim Burton had a team of animal handlers train 40 squirrels for the scene. In L. Frank Baum's original novel, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, The magical slippers that Dorothy dons are bright silver. They were changed to the iconic ruby slippers for the 1939 film adaptation in order to more dramatically showcase the shift from the black and white world of Kansas to the Technicolor world of Oz. King Adolf Frederick of Sweden was considered a weak ruler who failed to gain respect during his life. His death didn't help matters. The king died after consuming a meal of lobster, caviar, sauerkraut, kippers, and champagne, followed by no fewer than 14 helpings of his favorite dessert. He literally ate himself to death. The 1937 supernatural comedy Topper was the first black and white full-length feature film converted to color via digital colorization. The color version was released in 1985. In 2004, Danish chess grandmaster Peter Nielsen played the largest network chess game ever against ChessBrain, a network of 2,070 computers in 56 countries. After 34 moves, the match ended in a draw. The incredible 270-degree rotation of an owl's head is a necessity. Their eyes are tubular and cannot move side to side like ours can, so instead of moving their eyes, they move their entire head. Lego bricks are incredibly sturdy. You would have to build a single column tower at least 3.49 kilometers high in order to exert enough pressure on the bottom brick to lead to structural failure. When you open a can of soda, the decrease in pressure inside the can causes a corresponding, but very small, decrease in the temperature of the soda. Egyptologists estimate that the Great Pyramid of Giza was constructed over a period of approximately 20 years, with a workforce thought to have consisted of thousands of skilled tradesmen and paid laborers, as opposed to slaves. To break free from Earth's gravitational field, small objects need to achieve a speed of 40,270 kilometers per hour. For the scene in The Shining where Jack Nicholson types out "all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy" over and over, director Stanley Kubrick recorded an actual typist typing the words to ensure the sound effect in the movie was perfectly accurate. At least one species of bats, the Mexican free-tailed bat, has been observed using its sonar abilities to not only locate food, but to effectively guard resource food by jamming the echolocation of nearby bats. In the days of Napoleon, two Frenchmen named Lepic and Grandpré decided to have a duel when they realized they were seeing the same woman. But this was to be no ordinary duel. This contest was to be held in the skies above Paris. They each got in their own hot air balloon, ascended to half a mile above the city, then drew their arms. Lepic drew first and missed. Grandpré then fired and popped Lepic's balloon, sending him and his pilot plummeting to their deaths. There you have it, folks. 30 fascinating facts to help make your day. Were you surprised by any of the facts we covered today? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to be informed of more random fact content. Until next time, stay curious and you have a great day.